Let's play with my Legos. First, I build the rocket. Pathetic. Now kiss Loomer, my little goat. Ah, you like this, don't you, Laura? Take that, Trump. Kaboom! Direct hit. We're coming for you, Sharmuta. All you guys have left is a cardboard Ayatollah and some Legos. Well, fuck your Ayatollah and fuck your shitty Legos.
Get him,
No,
get him.
not my diorama! I must run, it's all crumbling!
Get him, Trump. Get him, Trump. No more messing about. That's right, 07. What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday night. What's up? How's it going? Thanks to everybody who's here. My name's Jim. I'm here to tell you some news. We got a lot of news to talk about. You can see Bella Vision sitting right there, playing with the Scorpions. There you go. But before we get started, let me talk to you about the goal, because there is a goal like there is every night. And the way it works is for every $100 in total that comes in across all platforms, YouTube Super Chats, Rumble Rants, becoming a member or gifting memberships on YouTube, Rumble, Kick, or Twitch, along with Locals Coins and Cash App, PayPal, Coffee, Ko-Fi, and Super Tips. We add it all up. When we hit 100, we add an extra hour. And then for each additional 100 that comes in, we add an additional $100 to the show. So the show could be as long as you guys want it to be. It could be an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12, you name it, 24 hours. It's totally up to you. And then as an added bonus, when we hit 50, we activate Bellavision. Or if somebody is so generous that they donate $25 or greater as an individual, that could be like a Cash App, a PayPal, a Super Tip, a Super Chat, a Rumble Rant, or it could even be like gifted memberships. If somebody donates like 5 gifted memberships on YouTube, Rumble, Kick, or Twitch, that would automatically activate Bellavision for the evening. So what do you say? Let's get right into the news, shall we? Shall we? Let's see. We got news. Hey, what's up? CF Rob, great to see you. Dan, awesome to have you. Great Eagles here. Thank you. I got those the Gundam, pulled them aside. I Rules here. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Anyone else? Anyone else? Sherry Gatlin's here. What the F is here. Great to see you. Did I miss anybody else? God. Kevin's here. What's up? I apologize. Trump's doing an awesome job. Awesome. Good news. Serenity's here. What's up? Great to see you. Man, a lot of stuff going on here in the chat. Shadowings was here first. What's up? Happy Tuesday, Jim and Bella. Great to see you. So there was some breaking news. breaking news. Yeah, that story is some bullshit. I saw that. That is some BS. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? So all right. Catherine K, awesome to see you. So I was very upset about this first story. I knew we couldn't trust Mark Wayne Mullen, but now it's proof. First, it was the getting rid of Nome and then getting rid of Bavino. And now this announcement today is upsetting, we shall say. Upsetting, we shall say. Upsetting. Hey, look at this. We got 10 from Wasted Quake Ranger. Thank you so much. With that means, folks, we are now just 90 away from adding a first additional hour and just 40 away from Bellavision. Thank you so much, Wasted Quake Ranger. Thank you. That is amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you for supporting the show. Yes, please remember, hit the like. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. All that good jazz. So, yeah. Anyway, Mullins is a bitch. Oh yeah. So here it is, folks. Here's the first story. So total capitulation to the left. ICE arrests will drop off a cliff, just as the leftist terrorists demanded. Illegals will now sprint to the driver's seat and run, knowing they can't be stopped. DHS Secretary personally gave the order for ICE to suspend all non-urgent vehicle stops. Susan Collins confirmed it. This is total capitulation. This is insanity.
And we're also keeping a close eye on what's happening in Biddeford, Maine. There are growing protests in the street after the second deadly shooting by ICE in a week. Now, a change from the top, ICE pausing most traffic stops as a method of apprehension for now, until agents get increased training on these kinds of stops. According to sources, we're going to dig into exactly what's going on around that today. Homeland Security saying that the officer who opened fire in Maine yesterday was, this is a quote from them, fearing for public safety. We know that there are investigations that are underway right now into exactly what happened. Now, DHS says that last week's deadly shooting in Texas
they're all urgent.
Was self-defense after a driver rammed an ICE vehicle with his van. The three passengers say that the officer was not in front of the van. So there is a lot of camera, a lot of video around these incidents, and certainly the forensics of the cars on the scene that are part of these investigations right now. Important to follow all of that through. Correspondent Alexis McAdams reporting live here in New York.
Sounds like it. They're just basically
still
capitulating.
A lot of unanswered questions here as we try to dig in more. Federal sources are telling Fox News ICE enforcement numbers are going to drop drastically. That's something they want people to expect. But they say the pause is necessary because agents have to go through additional training right away. So the pause in most vehicle stops during immigration enforcement operations follows two fatal ICE-involved shootings in less than a week. One was yesterday morning in the state of Maine, where DHS says a migrant who was in the country illegally was shot and killed by an ICE agent. The agency says the suspect tried to flee the scene before the shots were fired and was not the target of the operation. There were protests again today as people marched to an ICE facility, an ICE office not far from the scene, calling for a full investigation, as at least one Democratic representative tells people, come and fight back in Maine.
Oh, come and fight back.
If you're on your way to Maine right now, thank you. If you're standing up and fighting in your community, thank you. If you're doing everything you can to protect our values, thank you. But if you're someone who can do more, then we need to do more.
So we'll see who shows up.
Arrest him.
Some Maine Democrats.
Arrest him. This has to stop. We were already told by the left that when you say to fight, that means you want to go to war, that you're going to overthrow the government and all this stuff. That's what they said. That's the words they used. Turn it on them. This has to stop. These Democrats cannot get away with this stochastic terrorism and calls for violence. They all must be arrested.
Are trying to replace Graham Plattner in the upcoming Senate race, and they're calling to abolish ICE, something longtime Republican Maine Senator Susan Collins, who's up for re-election, says just doesn't make sense. Back here in the studio, the story will continue to follow as we try to reach out for ICE. And they say that pushback is probably going to be coming because, Martha, the vehicle stops have been one of their most effective enforcement tools.
All right, Alexis, thank
you. Stop the most effective thing. That's what you do. I'm super confused. Isn't all illegal immigration an urgent problem? I thought we were getting mass deportations. You can't say that we need to stop non-urgent vehicle stops and also have mass deportations. They are mutually exclusive. Every illegal alien is an urgent problem. We have no idea who they are. America's women and children continue being killed by these people every single day. Why would you have to wait until they murder someone? Lots of pushback on this decision. We will see what happens. They did this to appease the left, but the left will never be satisfied until ICE is abolished and the border is open. Stop trying to win them over. Yeah, Christie had more grit and balls than this asshat. Yes. ICE Seattle is still moving despite the stand-down order for most traffic arrests. Hey, Pam Graham, great to see you. Pat Hacker, I'm sorry, and Pam Graham. Pat Hacker, Pam Graham, you guys are right next to each other. I'm sorry. Dog Digger, awesome to have you here. By Mullen's logic, they need to stop serving warrants. Yeah, Marshall shot and killed while serving. Yeah, they should stop serving the warrants. Yeah. Hey, what's up, America First? Great to see you. Great to see you. Great to see you. Paul, hey, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by, everybody. This is Paul. He's got that channel that has the cams on the bird feeders and stuff. If you want to check it out, nice guy. Give him a little support. Maybe you can make a little ad revenue on his streams. All the Dems hate the laws. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yeah. CF Rob says he doesn't want to get pushed out. He's worthless. Well, we don't know. Hey, Schwartz, how you doing? Jay Schwartz, great to see you. Anne Marie, hello. How you doing? So bystander reports the car was pinned in at the intersection, window was broken, and a man was taken. ERO, Seattle doesn't mess around. Here we go.
What's going on, dude?
There you go. That's arrest people. There you go. I see totally legit face back ban that Ferguson signed the law is totally working. Yeah. Because it's not you can't tell the feds what to do, locals. 4 illegal aliens ran from ICE. One 28-year-old was hit by a semi and is dead. Run from federal agents at your own peril. ICE agents are still pursuing them in vehicles. Are they ignoring the Rhino Mullen?
So we're now learning ICE agents responded to a Wawa on State Road 16 in St. Augustine early this morning. According to Florida Highway Patrol, 4 people in the car ran from the area when encountering ICE and Homeland Security investigators.
And while running away, the 28-year-old man crossed the road and was hit. He died on the scene. We've discovered this is the 3rd death involving ICE in a week across the country.
Our Christina Burgess is following this story. She joins us now live. So Christina, what have you learned?
Well, Heather and Anthony, the scene is now cleared from this morning, but in the last couple of hours, we did learn from Florida Highway Patrol that 28-year-old man was fleeing across this busy state road that's to my left when he was hit by that semi-truck. The Florida Highway Patrol also telling us that ICE and Homeland Security investigation agents responded to this Wawa on State Road 16 right before 7 this morning. Troopers say that 4 people inside a vehicle ran from the area after encountering the agents. Investigators say that one of those individuals, a 28-year-old man, ran across State Road 16 and into the path of an oncoming semi-truck. The driver of that truck did stop immediately and try to render aid, but the man died at the scene. The Florida Highway Patrol is investigating the fatal crash, and while any questions about the federal encounter are being referred to ICE and Homeland Security at this time. And First Coast News, we did reach out to ICE earlier this afternoon, and they did tell us that they are expecting to release a statement from the Department of Homeland Security shortly, and when we receive that statement and more information, we will bring it to you here at First Coast News. Reporting live in St. Augustine, Christina Burgess.
Right. Don't run into traffic. Like, how is this ICE's fault that the guy ran away and ran into traffic? Somehow ICE's fault? It's ridiculous. It's quite ridiculous what is happening. It's quite ridiculous. Yeah. Another illegal alien is dead after fleeing ICE. He was hit by a truck trying to escape. St. Augustine, Florida. Hey. That's just ridiculousness, man. Ridiculousness. Every time they flee, they risk an accident or running over an agent. The smart ones are using the CBP Home app. The rest may win a Darwin Award. Might happen. Might happen. Might happen. Okay, we'll get that in a second. Okay. Federal law enforcement sources have been reaching out to us to express their concern and frustration over the Trump administration suspending most vehicle stops. Targeted illegals will run for the driver's seat. In fact, all illegal aliens will now run, one source stated. And a new announcement says that once again, it sounds like Trump's new DHS leadership is more concerned about appeasing Democrats than getting the job done. This is a major problem. ICE ordered to cease most vehicle stops after 2 killings in a week. Well, I mean, it's ridiculous. It really is. It is quite ridiculous. Saves 25% on the cost of deporting that group. Yeah. What is Paul's website? It's his name, Paul Couture, and it's his name. It's on YouTube. His name. You could click on it and go right to his channel. If you just click on his name, it'll take you there. Good evening, Karen. Great to see you. Well, the delay is obvious is here. Hey, what's up? Why did Cholo cross the road? To get hit by the car. Hey, Gavea Raid, thank you so much. Did he come in on Rumble too? We get a raid on Rumble? Did we? Not on Rumble. There you go. Awesome. Well, thanks to everyone. Let's see. How is a guy running in front of a semi ICE's fault? Well, they're going to blame everything on ICE. They're going to blame everything on ICE. That's how that works. Hey, Raid, thank you so much to everybody that came over on the raid from Robert Gavea. We're just covering the story. The first story of the evening is about ICE, the new, Mark Wayne Mullen, the new ICE, the guy head of DHS, is a puss who just decided to basically, they can't stop cars anymore because, they're trying to run people over and getting killed. So, it's ICE's fault that people are running over agents. America First for 10. Thank you so much. He says, Jim, we agree on 90%. Plus, that's why I support you. And I know I tend to be blunt. It's because we as a nation need to stop walking on eggshells, being afraid that we might offend others. Yes, we need to stop being afraid. We need to enforce the law strictly and precisely. And if they're in the country illegally, they have to go. They have to go. And I don't want people to die. I don't. But if they use their vehicle as a weapon to target the police, or if they run away and run into traffic and get hit by a car, that's on them, not on the police. Thank you so much for the 10. With that means, folks, we are now just 80 away from adding a first additional hour and just 30 away from Bellavision. Thank you. Thank you so much. Raid, thank you to everybody coming over from Robert Gavea. Please stick around for a little while. If you like it, subscribe, stick around, follow the channel, give us a like. It really, really helps the channel grow. Thank you so much. That's letting them control us. Yeah, we can't. They can't give in. They keep giving in. Rob Raid, but I'm on pause because I need to eat something. I'll be back. Well, thank you, Michelle. Yes, Lisa Day says, it's on them because they're here. And Marjorie says, hey, all, how you doing? Howdy, McMuffy Cakes. Do they not play Frogger in their own country? Well, I don't know. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't understand the whole thing about not running into traffic. Thanks for supporting the show. I agree with your comment. Yes, thank you. So we need to, people need to be held responsible for their own actions, whatever those might be. If you break the law, there are consequences. And those consequences sometimes could be bad if you make the wrong choice. And the wrong choice would be like running into traffic. We all have endearment for our Muffin Man. Yes, we do. So nationwide, immediately they're going to end traffic stops, according to Mark Wayne Mullen, which fire him. He sucks. That's what I say. So in an apparent capitulation to the radical left and negative media coverage, immigration and customs enforcement agents have been directed to stop pulling over vehicles driven by illegal aliens. Multiple sources from the Department of Homeland Security revealed that to the Daily Wire that they've been told no more vehicle stops for now. This will heavily impact ICE's ability to arrest illegal aliens. It's just the bottom line. This is how they're stopped. They pull them over and they arrest them. What are they going to do now? Just go, well, we'll have to wait. 1-8. So the left, let's get this clear. The Dems, the left doesn't want you arresting them at courthouses. They don't want you arresting them anywhere near schools. They don't want you arresting them on public property. They don't want you arresting them in their cars. I mean, where exactly are you supposed to arrest the illegal aliens at this point? They're basically like, it's like they're just Xing out whole areas where, nope, you can't get them here. Oh, you can't get them in their house because they're in their house and you need to get a search warrant to go in their house and get them. This is just a way to stop enforcement. That's all this is. This is going to stop enforcement. One agency source decried the decision referencing the decreasing deportation figures. Numbers are going to go down. We can't do shit about it. This comes after another fatal shooting in Maine and Texas. But how do they know if they don't stop them? SC just got 30 on I-85, South Carolina. Okay, well, get them. Arrest them when they go to the bathroom. I guess that's the only place you can get them now. The left just doesn't want them arrested, period. Well, yeah, but that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make this whole game like where they have safe zones. Like, that you've seen them do it. They'll run inside like a police station and hold the door. You can't arrest me here. This is a city police station and they're a sanctuary city. Like, that's what they're doing. Oh, we're at City Hall. You can't arrest us. We're at a court. You can't arrest us. That's what's happening. I would never think to run over another human unless my life was in real danger. Yeah, well, these people, they don't have the same respect for life that we do. Can't arrest illegal aliens when they are in your house. Yes, you can't arrest anybody anywhere, it seems. You can't. That's the thing, is they don't want anyone arrested anywhere. No one, nowhere. That's what they want. No arrests. On Monday, a 26-year-old from Colombia attempted to run over ICE agents during a targeted enforcement and was fatally shot. Witness to the shooting confirmed that the vehicle was put in a drive and tried to hit the ICE officer before shots were fired. This is from a witness. So, Secretary Mark Wayne Mullen is pulling back due to liberal outrage. So much for mass deportations. Yeah, because he's a fucking rhino who just happens to be like, one of the most richest people in his short time in Congress. He's made like so much money in stock trading too. Almost like playing tag and 90% off where they consider to be home base. Yeah, 90% home base. That's right. NASCAR Mo, what's up? Good to see you. The left has no logic. They don't. Per multiple federal sources, ICE has been instructed to immediately cease most vehicle stops during immigration enforcement operations, except for operations targeting the most egregious criminal aliens. This comes after 2 people were killed by ICE in shootings. So I guess we can't do anything until they murder or rape someone. Is that it? Anything else is fine, but just if they murder or rape someone, then we can arrest them. Is that it? Is that where we're at? That's not what I voted for. That's not what 85% of the American public wants. But they will arrest us and put us in shackles and solitary confinement. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They'll boot your fucking door down if you're a citizen in a second. Yeah. I'm told this will be temporary until they receive new training on vehicle stops. The policy change will have significant impacts as many of ICE arrests begin as vehicle stops when they find and follow a target, as we've witnessed on multiple embeds with them. More to come as we get it. Yeah, per multiple sources. Yeah, they just want to stop. Should they suspend it? No. ICE told to halt vehicle stops after 2 fatal shootings. Yeah, whatever. It's time to stop the left from bullying us with their emotions. Their emotional outbursts are causing more damage than anything else. I'm tired of being held hostage. Yeah, me too. This is crazy. Hey, what's up, Jason Fisher? Hope you had a great start of your week. I ran a Supreme Burrito at Costco. I was like, do I know you from somewhere? What's up, Kofi? Thanks for holding it down. Do we not have the body cam footage? No, they have the body cam footage, but they're not giving it to us. There was a witness who saw this shooting in Maine and said, no, the guy put it in drive and went right at the officer before he fired. They don't want the illegals arrested because it will offend them. You think I'm being funny? I'm not. Yes. I'm cooking pork repellent. Oh, good. I always carry bacon in my pocket just in case. Just in case. Someone comes at you with a knife to cut your head off, you just get some bacon and they have to stop. They'll be like, ICE told the halt vehicle stops. Agents say it will hamstring them. No kidding. No. ICE agents nationwide have been ordered to halt traffic stops. after 2 shootings. Numbers are going down. We can't do nothing about it. Disallowing vehicle stops could deprive ICE agents of a key avenue for catching immigration violators. Hey, that's right, Lurchlinger. Tap the like button. Really appreciate it. It helps a lot. It really does. ICE should be doing traffic stops in unmarked vehicles. That's should not be doing. That's why we're having these incidents. We need marked police vehicles. They can't. If they have marked police vehicles, they'll never be able to catch anybody. They'll just run away. They won't be able to find them. As soon as they see them, people scatter. La migra, la migra. I mean, no, they know who these illegal. They know they're the cops. It's not that they don't know. They have vests on. They're out of the car with the things on, with the lights. They have flashing lights on the car. No, they know. They know who it is. Is this Mark Wayne's work to stop? Yes, this is Mark Wayne Mullins did this. This is Mark Wayne's Mullins did this. I mean, you can see the window right there. The bullet holes went through the front of the windshield. He was in front of the car. Marked vehicles become targets. Yeah. It also adds the obstacle requiring search warrants signed by a judge before entering a home, which is not required on a vehicle stop. You don't need a search warrant to open a vehicle. You do in a house. That's the thing. They wanted them. You can only arrest them at their house, but you can't go in their house. That's what they want. The reported exception to revised policies when agents have a criminal warrant, but even then they must work with outside agencies when initiating a motor vehicle stop, according. So they don't want ICE stopping any vehicles. They want to have them make the call local police, which all these jurisdictions, the local police won't work with them. So what are you going to do? This is retarded. Fire Mark Wayne Mullen right now, Trump. Fire Mark Wayne Mullen immediately. Immediately. The enforcement shift follows 2 fatal shootings. Oh, well, okay. Well, you know what? Is this a family member? Is he illegal too? Get him out. Oh, wow. Look at these old white women in their scooters over here. Look at these people. This is the look at this. This is pathetic. Pathetic. ICE said he tried to run over agents with his car. Homeland Security did not respond to the post request for comment. So this is what they're doing. This is what they're doing. You know, this is what they're doing. This is how they're going to they're trying to win. They're just going to, just going to play it out, man. Just going to play it out. Just going to play it out. So they're being instructed to stop the vehicle strikes. This is just pathetic. Just pathetic. And then what are they going to tell them? No more search warrants because of this? A U.S. Marshal shot and killed while serving an arrest warrant on a fugitive in Alexandria, Louisiana. So does this mean this mean you can't do this anymore because there are people getting shot? U.S. Marshal killed in a fugitive manhunt. Wow. U.S. Marshal Service confirmed on Monday that a deputy U.S. Marshal assigned to the Western District of Louisiana was shot and killed while serving an arrest warrant on a fugitive in Alexandria. The shooting occurred at 3 p.m. during a joint law enforcement operation involving members of the U.S. Marshals Violent Offender Task Force and detectives from the Rapides Parish Sheriff's Office. Authorities were attempting to apprehend a wanted fugitive in the Rutland Road area when gunfire erupted. Marshal Service confirmed the deputy assigned to the Western District of Louisiana was killed in the line of duty. Officials have not yet released the deputy's identity. I mean, where are the people protesting against the murderers that are killing? Maybe we should, abolish criminals. Why don't we abolish crime? Abolish criminals. That's the same judge letting a convicted murderer back out. Yeah, probably, man. They're always doing it the same thing. Cindy, what's up? Great to see you. I think it'll be very temporary. It shouldn't be at all. This is ridiculous. Why do the left use the tactics they use? It's because they work. That's right. Training day. Yeah, well. Marshal Service confirms the deputy marshal was shot and killed while serving an arrest warrant. The FBI's New Orleans field office announced it's leading the federal investigation. The FBI responded to an incident. They want to abolish all police. Yes, that's what they do. They want to abolish all police. Not crime. They're happy with the crime as long as the crime goes against the people they don't like. They responded to the incident in Alexandria with the Alexandria Police Department. and are now leading the investigation into the assault on a federal officer. This sounds like more than an assault. It sounds like it's a murder of a federal officer. So, neighbors said they were shaken by what they witnessed. One resident who asked not to be identified said she heard multiple gunshots and immediately moved to protect her children. I just kept telling them to get down, and I had them in a room down because I don't know what's going on. She also described the sound of gunfire. Not even 5 seconds later, that's when we heard the shots. It just went boom, 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 boom. So the cops ran back out. Multiple neighbors said they know the suspect, who they said lives a few houses from the scene. Neighbors who asked not to be identified said she did not expect the incident. So he was a good man, you know. He was always in good spirits, you know. So definitely didn't expect this. Oh, good man, you know. Yeah. Wanted a violent felon. Good man. Good man. Good man. Good man. That's what they say. A good man. Good man. That's what they say. Good man. You know, we can't ever have anybody who's a criminal, because that would be against whatever, you know, against whatever. Then we got this. We're going to hit them very hard tonight. We're going to hit them very hard tomorrow night. We're going to hit them very hard the night after, and the next week it gets really bad for them. That's what Trump's saying about Iran. He warned that Iran's energy infrastructure, power plants, and bridges will be targets unless they return to the negotiating table. It's Trump.
I'll save the energy targets for last, but ultimately we'll hit energy targets, yeah. But we're going to hit them very hard tonight. We're going to hit them very hard tomorrow night. We're going to hit them very hard the night after. And then next week it gets really bad for them, because next week comes the power plants. Next week comes the bridges. We're going to knock out all their power plants. We're going to knock out all their bridges unless they get to the table and negotiate.
Do you believe the Iranians are serious about making a deal?
I think they have no choice. I'll save the energy targets for last. But
yeah, so that's what's happening there. Demons. Ooh, demons. If we continue to play by their rules, and the left has no rules, we will only lose to them. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure that neighbor would be just fine if the wanted violent felon committed some atrocities against her children, right? She's these fat ass libtards. You ain't kidding, right? Like, oh my God, I can't believe what they're doing to these people. I can't believe what they're doing to these people. You know. Then this also, a bulk carrier sinks near the Strait of Hormuz. The St. Kitts and Nevis flag bulk carrier split apart and partially sank off of Bandar Abbas Tuesday after sustaining catastrophic hull damage. The vessel was on the route to Jebel Ali, UAE. All crew members were rescued. Wow. That's a sunk cargo ship right there. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, it's acting weird. Should be playing now. Anyway. So that's all there is on that. Then we got this story. Clinton appointed activist judge frees a Cuban hijacker awaiting deportation. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? Can you believe this? I mean, a hijacker. That can buff right out, right? Yeah, buff right out. You know, I mean, this is what's going on. And this is happening. And you know, this is the deal, you know. And they don't care. They really don't care. They just keep doing all this stuff. They keep attacking. And anytime anyone gives an inch, they will, I think it was empty. I think it was on its way going in. It wasn't on its way out. It was heading to UAE, not away from UAE. It was heading into port, I think. So that's where, you know, that's what's happening. And it's just crazy. You know, this This is where we're at in society. That we're freeing hijackers. The Democrats are governors are pardoning murderers and rapists to keep them from getting deported. I just, activist judge is a traitor judge. E. Jean got her $5 million today. Yeah, go figure. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It just doesn't make any sense to me at all. I'm going to try to power through a bunch of stories here tonight and get as many done as possible. Hopefully. Who judges the judges? We, the people, Congress, our elected officials, is supposed to. So need some Flex Seal. Yeah, well, that would work. That would seal it right up, wouldn't it? Some Flex Seal. Hey, we got a 5 from Cash App from Lurch Linger. Thank you so much, Lurch Linger. What that means now we are just 75 away from adding a first additional hour and just 25 away from Bellavision. So thank you so much, Lurch Linger, for the 5 on Cash App. Moving right along. Movie somewhere in there. Oh yeah, I saw that one. That's just crazy, isn't it? So Cuban national convicted of hijacking a plane and assaulting crew members in 2003 has been released from Immigration and Customs Enforcement custody after a federal judge ruled that he could not be held indefinitely while the government struggled to complete his deportation. Michael Guerrero Morales was among a group of Cuban nationals who hijacked a commuter aircraft in 2003, forcing a pilot to divert the flight from Cuba to Key West. During the incident, Morales assaulted members of the flight crew before being arrested by U.S. authorities. He was later convicted of aircraft piracy and conspiracy to interfere with the flight crew and sentenced to 22 years in federal prison. After completing about 2 decades in prison, he was taken into ICE custody in December 2025 as officials prepared to deport him. However, Clinton-appointed Judge John E. Steele ordered him released, ruling that the government had not proved a transparent enough timeline for removing him from the country. Morales was released under supervision with electronic monitoring while ICE continues to determine his final destination. Yeah, because Cuba won't take him back. So DHS Secretary slammed the decision. An activist judge has forced ICE to release this criminal. Convicted criminal, a fucking hijacker. A hijacker. I mean, how are you going to release a hijacker? To me, that is just crazy. Releasing a hijacker. That's just nuts. Just nuts. Just nuts. He should have been deported immediately. Yeah, Trebuch. They should just send him. You know what they should do is send him to Guantanamo Bay, to Gitmo, because that's Cuba. That's his home country. Send him to Gitmo. He can wait there. That's what they should do. You can wait there till they figure out where to get him. That's what should happen. New York Post reports Morales was originally scheduled to be deported to Mexico, though court documents indicate he could eventually be returned to Cuba. He is believed to be living in the Miami area under immigration supervision. Well, he needs to go now, like immediately. Immediately. In U.S. history, only 15 judges have ever been impeached, just 8 convicted. That means removed from the bench. Yeah, I know, but more should happen. More should happen. On this particular facet of our posterity, the police were told to stand down years ago. Yeah. That puts him back in Cuba. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Put him back in Cuba. Hey, Lisa, great to see you. How's it going? So, transgender DSA member and former Arizona Democratic Party vice chair arrested after breaking into home wielding a knife and duct tape. Claims he was role-playing. Huh. That's a man. That's a man. A former Arizona congressional candidate and ex-Democrat Party leader was arrested on charges of felony burglary at ex-partner's home. The suspect, Brianna Westbrook, is that the real name? Has run for federal and state offices, including a failed 2018 bid for Congress. All right. According to Ballot Ready, Westbrook's professional experience includes serving as a Southwest Regional co-chair of the DSA, which are just commies. They're commies. Just call them the communists. Pretty much all of them went with Arab Spring behind our back. Yeah. So Westbrook reportedly arrested after a former partner told police that they pushed her way into the victim's home while carrying a knife and duct tape. Her real name is Bob. Yeah, go figure. Following a struggle, Westbrook reportedly threatened a victim with another individual inside the home before Westbrook took off running. According to court documents, officers found a knife, tape, and gloves after they conducted a search.
The people who never stop asking are the ones who find answers. This is why you should never trust your electric bills after the COVID pandemic. Ever notice?
A former Arizona Democratic Party vice chair and political candidate is facing a felony burglary charge. Phoenix police say Brianna Westbrook forced her way into an ex-partner's home Friday while holding a knife and tape. Court documents say Westbrook and the woman struggled before Westbrook allegedly threatened her and another person inside the home. Westbrook later told officers the encounter was a planned role-playing scene.
Oh, okay.
The woman denied agreeing to any such scenario. Police say they found a knife, tape, and gloves while searching Westbrook's home. Westbrook has previously run for Congress and the Arizona legislature.
Funny. So this is the first time that they have been arrested. In 2018, they were arrested for trespassing at then Senator Jeff Flake's Phoenix office. I was arrested while exercising my First Amendment rights. Then the Maricopa County Sheriff's mistreated me and highlighted the urgent need for law enforcement to put policy in place to protect transgender Arizonans. She was playing the rapist. The rapist. Send the Cuban to CCOT. That's I say. Send them somewhere. Though the charges were dropped, Westbrook writes, while in custody, the Maricopa County Sheriff's mistreated me and highlights the urgent need. Well, hopefully this one gets the urgent need. 326 people and only 60 likes. People, please like the stream. I mean, please, people, please like the stream. Please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It would really be appreciated. You're never going to get as much news from any other channel as you can get from Jim, because Jim's going to tell you the news tonight. He's hitting it hard and fast. Canadian woman living in New Jersey assaults a teenage girl wearing patriotic clothing supporting Trump and ICE. Look at this freak. That's what I'm talking about right there. A woman from north of the border suffering from TDS recently took her anger out on an innocent girl in New Jersey who was expressing her love for our president. As News 12 Jersey reported, 33-year-old Caitlin Tracy, a Canadian native living in Allenhurst, assaulted a teenage girl just because she supported Trump. Iroll says, I got to go. I'm not having a good day. Okay. Sorry. Arab Spring and Spanish caravans were all on purpose. Yes, you're true. True, 100%. Jim works hard for the likes. Come on, people, hit the like. Yes, I work hard. I'm putting in the effort for you guys, man. Hey, what's up, King of Biltong? Good evening, everybody. How you doing, bud? Great to see you. If you guys don't know, King of Biltong, his name is Anton. He, shall we say, he has a company called BiltongUSA.com. And if you go to BiltongUSA.com and you use promo code Jim, you can save 10% on all your Biltong needs. You can get the Peri Peri if you like a little bit of heat. If you like a lot of heat, you can get the Ghost Pepper or the Reaper. They also have Wagyu and Angus, which is just like it's better. It's way better than any beef jerky you could get at the store. I'll just say that. It's all natural. It's 100% American-made beef, American, whatever, raised, grown beef, and it tastes great, and it's good for you. It's 50% protein. They also, if you don't like things that are good for you, if you like things that aren't good for you, they have all types of candies, cookies, and cakes and snacks from around the world that you can order. So go to www.biltongusa.com and use promo code Jim and save 10%. No, thank you, King of Biltong. So per multiple reports, Tracy hit the girl twice with an open hand after seeing her patriotic colored sweatpants that had the words Trump and ICE on it. The incident occurred at the Point Pleasant Beach Boardwalk. Wow. According to the news, Tracy was at the Point Pleasant Beach Boardwalk on July 3rd when the teenage victim, whose name was not released, was walking on the boardwalk with three of her friends. Tracy began repeatedly yelling at the teenagers, which had the words Trump and ICE written on them, that the two teenagers were wearing. Tracy verbally berated the teenagers and kept approaching, harassing, and yelling at them over the clothing. The victim told police, according to the documents, Tracy then struck the victims twice, once on her body and once in the face before walking off. Police officers tried to stop her, but she refused to. Point Pleasant police officers tried to stop her, but she refused to do so. So they just, wait a minute. So they just let her go? Oh, did she get in a car and they're not allowed to stop people in a car? or they said stop and they weren't allowed to stop. I mean, this is ridiculous. Don't police use force to stop people? They just go, hey, you stop. No, oh, crap, we can't arrest them. Wow, that's weird. That's weird. Well, thank you. I think Jim has the best ad read on Rumble at the moment. Well, thank you so much. I try. So police say they verified the incident through the use of surveillance cameras. Authorities were able to identify Tracy through her social media posts, as well as passport information that she provided to federal customs and border protection officers when she entered the U.S. in 2024. Tracy's been charged with assault, endangering the welfare of a child, harassment, and obstruction. They should charge her with a hate crime. I'm saying. If they like to charge everyone else with hate crimes, why not these? Tracy turned herself in the morning of July 13th, was taken into custody. She was processed and transported to Ocean County Jail. Jail records show that Immigration and Customs Enforcement has filed a detainer in the case. Following the arrest, a man calling himself her husband went on social media with a long-winded rant for help, nearly in tears. Total normal behavior? Not anymore. What, they don't arrest people anymore? Is that it? I have lost over $1,000 in cars and clothes here in the past. I know. Okay. Yes, please like the stream. So I need to save her, he whimpered. I need help. Oh, we're gonna watch this thing. We're gonna watch this. This is gonna be good.
I need help. I don't know what to do. My wife is.
First thing I would say is take those two things out of your lip. That's probably causing a lot of the problem. You've got metal in your mouth, these things in your mouth that makes you look retarded. So just take them out.
Being detained by ICE. She's in Ocean County Jail right now, and I can't get a hold of her. She keeps trying to call me, but they won't let me put money on her card. The kiosk in the Toms River jail is broken, and all the numbers and stuff they gave me wasn't right or wouldn't allow me to put money on her card. And ICE is coming there to pick her up. I need an immigration lawyer. I need help. I don't know what to do. I don't have any money. I'm so fucking broke. But I gotta figure something out. I gotta save her.
Okay.
I need help. I need you to figure out.
Here's go to Canada with her. She's Canadian. Go to Canada. You clearly like the way Canadistan is. So go to Canada with because I think that's I don't know. I'm getting my trans senses are tingling on this one. That looks like a dude to me. Look at how thick the neck is. Her neck is as thick as her head. I mean, that's what you call a stout person.
I don't know. This just happened. I need help. I need my wife. I don't want her to get hurt. I don't want to see her get. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Yesterday, July 13th, my wife was detained by ICE and brought to Delaney Hall in Newark, New Jersey. My wife is a Canadian citizen and I'm an American citizen. We've been married for a little over 3 years, and I'm just doing anything I can to get her story heard and bring any help to and attention to her situation so that I can get her released, even if that means back to Canada. I don't care what your opinions are of me or the situation. That's kind of irrelevant. All that matters is her safety and her well-being. And to all the people who want to spread rumors and misinformation, I hope you find peace one day, but you are vile.
Oh, you're vile. Oh, okay. We're vile. You're vile. Okay. Everyone's vile but you, right? Oh, okay. Except for, you're attacking a teenager, and that's not vile, right? That's not vile, attacking a teenager. No, that's not vile. Oh, we got this quick little story someone sent me. Go with her. Yeah, go with her. She has that bitch look. Yeah, right? He can definitely go with her. Definitely go with her. So here's this. Something about a pig race at a mosque. Let's see what this is.
There's a guy in Texas who's fighting back after this Muslim group bought the land next door, fair and square. They bought it to build a mosque. He says that the Muslims didn't take kindly to his pig farm, and he didn't take kindly to being pushed around. So he started holding pig races during afternoon prayers.
Based.
Here's our report.
Every Friday night on Craig Baker's farm, people come to see the pigs run. It's a new attraction in Katy, Texas, and it's all because of a feud between Baker and his new Muslim neighbors.
Mr. Futa said that he thought it would be a good idea if I considered packing up my stuff and moving out further to the country.
Camel Fatou and his Islamic Association purchased 11 acres of land along Baker's swine line. The association wants to build a new mosque and community compound on the property. While Houston already has more than 60 mosques in the metro area, Fatou says they are not acceptable to his members.
Our vision is to have an integrated facility that not only for prayers, but for all other social activities, for the children, for the wives, for the husbands. So there will be a sense of a community.
The association purchased.
We just did a story, Bright Can News. Someone's coming home. A Canadian is coming home because they wanted to attack an American teenager for wearing patriotic clothing. So in ICE detention on her way home. I think it's a her. I don't know. I don't want to cast aspersions, but that's right. F off, Muzzrats. That's right, DK Spiracy. Great to see you. Thanks for being here. Hey, what's up? Good to see you tonight. He should pile all the pig slop as close as possible. Yes, go pigs. There you go. Islam is a colonizing ideology. That's the thing that always upsets me when you get these people like Rashida Tlaib and the others talking about colonizers and genocide and all this conquering. Like, that's the entire basis of Islam is a conquering. It's a war, conquering, warlike, colonizing. They go in, they take over, and they just move and spread like a fucking cancer. That's their whole purpose. I mean, I'm not. That's it. That's what they do. The guy's name is Camel Fatou. That's right. Camel Fatou. May the biltong be with you. That's right. That's an old story. Shepard Smith hasn't been on Fox for a while. Well, yeah, I know, but I still thought it was funny when he sent it to me. So.
The land next to the pig farm in September. 7 days later, Baker says Fatou asked him to leave his family farm or at least get rid of the pigs. Baker says Fatou knew about the pigs before he purchased and also says Fatou called him a liar at a town meeting. Baker says that's what really fried his bacon.
That was the last straw for me. So calling me a liar, especially in front of 300 or 400 people there at the meeting.
Fatou says his association will comply with all building requirements and only 30 members will be worshiping at the mosque.
We are not coming from somewhere else, undesirable neighborhood, as some people may complain. We are their neighbors.
Baker has offered the Islamic Association $1.2 million to buy their land. So far, the association has turned him down. In Katy, Texas, Kim McIntyre.
Katy, Texas. All right. Fat Chew, that's
3 men in masks.
3 men in masks. Innocent bystander gunned down in Pleasant Grove. Wow. This woman scares me. Oh my God, I'm scared. She's frightening. Frightening. So, Democrat congressional candidate admits she hid pro-LGBTQ views to appeal to Muslim voters in Washington state. You don't say. You don't say. They lied. Wonder how it's going now. I don't know. That would be a good thing to get an update on. Notice he dressed in flannel to fool the normies. Yes. The mosque was built. I don't know about the status of the pig farm or the races. Hope they still have them. They probably poisoned the pigs or something, or him. Who knows? Oh, look at this one. Oh, yes. Melissa Chaudhry, one of the leftist challengers to longtime Democrat Adam Smith in Washington's 9th congressional district, is facing backlash after she admitted she intentionally did not include support for LGBTQ rights in her campaign platform because she was concerned about how Muslim voters would react. The controversy has prompted calls from the Washington Stonewall Democrats and even one of Chaudhry's own endorsers to reconsider their support. So you don't say. A Democrat lied. Huh. Raising broader questions about honesty. Well, yeah. You know how you can tell they're not honest? They have a D next to their name. Hamas supporting challenger to Adam Smith admitted she intentionally left support for LGBTQ off her website because it would upset the Muslims. Oh. When asked during an endorsement interview with Outlet by the Stranger why her campaign website didn't mention it, though she professed support for them, she acknowledged we were careful about her Muslim constituents. Pressed further on why her website admitted it, she explained, because a lot of Muslims don't feel that way, unfortunately. Oh. She told the endorsement committee, which previously backed her for a 2024 run, that she supports LGBTQ protections in housing, employment, and healthcare and justice, but admitted she deliberately omitted those positions from her public campaign platform in an effort to avoid alienating portions of her Muslim voter base. During the same meeting, Chaudhry attempted to make what she believed was an off-the-record disclosure. I don't want you to publish this, she said, before explaining that if elected to Congress, she intended to become the first Green Party member of Congress that would switch parties while I'm in office. Members of the endorsement committee immediately reminded her that the interview was being conducted entirely on the record. If there's something you don't want said, don't say it at the meeting. Chaudhry was seated beside one of her primary opponents, Marxist Kashma Sawant, chair of the Washington Stonewall Democrats, an organization that advocates for LGBTQ rights in the Democrat Party, called on Democrat organizations to reconsider their support. I want to speak plainly about what to expect from anyone seeking support in Washington: honesty, transparency, and unwavering commitment to LGBTQ plus rights. That's right. That's it. If you're a Democrat, you have to support LGBTQ plus rights. If you don't, they should just change their name from Democrats to LGBTQ Party, right? It's kind of weird. So they criticize Chaudhry's admission that she intended to switch to the Green Party. Democrat voters deserve the truth, not concealment. Endorsing bodies deserve respect, not attempts to manipulate the process. They also condemned Chaudhry's admission that she intentionally omitted LGBTQ protections and was careful about her Muslim constituents. Our community is not expendable. LGBTQ plus rights are not optional. They are foundational. Ashfui urged Democrat organizers to revisit their endorsements. When new information reveals misalignments, it is appropriate for organizations to revisit their decisions. The 33rd Legislative District Democrats, one of the few organizations to endorse Chaudhry, also publicly questioned whether she had been honest with Democrat voters. She has not denied she would consider changing her political affiliation after winning. Our bylaws allow us to endorse any candidate who shares our progressive values, and we have done so when a candidate is honest. So her dishonesty undermines our Democrat Party beliefs. But these big tent of the Democrats, just let them. Running in the Green Party, but plans to switch to Democrat after. No, running in the Democrat Party, but plans to switch to Green Party after she wins. To support them as marginalized community. Although the 33rd District Democrats said their current bylaws do not allow them to revoke an endorsement. Oh, so they can't revoke an endorsement. Wow, that's very, very democratic. Based on the situation, like others like Graham Plattner, they found it prudent to immediately start the process to allow us to rescind the endorsements in the future. Chaudhry's also gained national attention through her advocacy for her husband, Mohammed Zaid Chaudhry, a convicted fraudster from Pakistan who was arrested by ICE during a scheduled citizenship interview. Oh, yeah, so that's why she's famous, because her husband is a scammer. Court records show he was convicted in Australia in the 90s for multiple fraud offenses involving another man's passport and stolen credit cards, and later repeatedly failed to disclose those convictions when applying for U.S. immigration benefits. We were warned about abominations. Yes, we were. We were warned. We were warned. So, including application connected to the Washington Army National Guard and the Yakima Police Department, immigration officials moved to rescind his permanent resident status in 2003, mistakenly abandoned the effort after incorrectly believing he had deployed overseas with the National Guard. He later fought deportation for more than a decade. Although a federal judge recently ordered his release from ICE custody on procedural due process grounds, the court did not rule on the merits of his immigration case. Well, the court doesn't have any jurisdiction over the immigration case. A judge found only that ICE had failed to provide notice required before detaining him. Following publication of the Strangers Report, Chaudhry posted a lengthy response insisting she has long supported LGBTQ. Well, I bet her husband would beat the crap out of her, because that's how those Muslims do if he found out. That's what he would do. That's what they do. That's how they treat their women. They beat them, Muslims. Politics is what's wrong with politics. Yeah. She argued the endorsement interview has been one of the least proud moments of her campaign. Well, whatever. Hopefully, And staying on that front, we got Muslim New York City official seals Mendami plan to demolish historic Brooklyn Christian church destroyed in an arson attack, despite church's attempt to save it. So we have a Muslim that says, oh, no, you cannot rebuild the church that was burned down. It's odd, isn't it? Isn't it odd? Isn't that a little odd? You got Muslims saying you can't rebuild the church. It's a little odd. It's almost like they're purposely burning it down and then, 174-year-old Brooklyn church that was torched in an arson attack is set to be demolished by the Kami Mandami administration after it rejected efforts by the congregation to preserve the historic building. It has been a landmark status and was built in 1853. Police are investigating as an arson incident. A person with interest was seen running from the South Bushwick Reformed Church. Muslims say to their women, comply or die. Yes. Very interesting, isn't it, Gundam? Very interesting. The devastating blaze at the Reformed Church located in Bushwick required nearly 200 firefighters. Yeah. They wanted to save at least part of it to retain the landmark status. According to the church, an independent structural engineer concluded the building remained structurally sound and could be repaired. The congregation also requested the demolition be postponed while preservation options were explored. These requests were unsuccessful. In a statement, Pastor John Stewart said, "It's with extreme heavy heart that the South Bushwick Church reports that despite its best efforts, we've been informed that the demolition of the remaining structures will commence tomorrow." So yeah, we're coming and we're demolishing it tomorrow. I guess if you were on Instagram, you got cut off. I'm sorry. Instagram is just, for some reason, they only let me go an hour. And Facebook is putting everything on lockdown. So I don't know what's going on. I might just stop even broadcasting to those. It just seems to not do anything. I don't know. I don't know why I'm bothering. I thought it was a story of interest. It is a story of interest. Politics ruins everything. It does. But this is just ridiculous. They had insult to injury. The congregation expected to foot the bill for its own demolition. Under city policy, the church will be charged the cost of tearing down the historic structure. It's going to exceed $15,000 raise. It's going to likely exceed the $15,000 raised through its GoFundMe. Despite efforts from church leaders, engineers, and attorneys, and preservation advocates, the city moved forward with demolition. So the Muslims are starting your churches on fire, and then the Muslims that are in charge of your city are basically demolishing them. Wow. This is almost like you're being fucking conquered, man. It's almost like you're being conquered by Islam in New York. It really is. Preservationists warned that the loss of the remaining structure could erase the church's landmark protections and clear the way for future redevelopment. Yeah, they'll probably put a mosque there. Yeah, they'll probably put a mosque there. As a result, it may have to be sold. A commercial broker told Brownstoner the site could be worth more than $7 million as a development opportunity. It's a well-known Brooklyn developer. The New York City Department of Buildings has determined the church will be demolished. The department is headed by an Egyptian Muslim, Ahmed Tagani, who was handpicked by Kami Mandami. The decision to demolish the church comes despite ongoing fundraising efforts for the congregation, which launched a GoFundMe campaign after the fire in the hopes of restoring the church. 1970s, the Bronx was burning. Now it's churches. New York City rejects the plan to save the 174-year-old church.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Last night, the FDNY confirmed what we all suspected. It was arson. No arrest made. Yeah. It was. They're being conquered. They can burn down all of our churches, burn all of our Bibles, and we'll still have faith in God. Yeah. Well, at some point, we're going to have to beat our plowshares into swords, and be ready to fight and defend, because you're being conquered. It's happening. The decision to demolish the church has drawn a backlash, particularly while investigators continue examining whether it was intentionally set. Churches routinely burned down now, and the local pro-Islam, pro-third world leadership are glad it's happening. Church was intentionally burned down. The agency has decided to demolish it instead.
The FDNY announcing this blaze that consumed the South Bushwick Reformed Church is being investigated as arson.
We have no known enemies.
Church pastor James E. Stewart says up until the fire, the congregation met weekly, a community staple. The church also acted as an event space and a food pantry. He adds he has no clue who would do something like this.
Now we understand that it is intentional. And so that, of course, brings another layer of grief
The National Registered Landmark was built in 1863 and has stood tall on Bushwick Avenue ever since, acting as a beacon in the community. Archival photos show a church that watched the neighborhood grow around it, but that beacon became a target in late June, and the South Bushwick community is left heartbroken.
I think it's messed up because it's been here forever. My aunt got married in this church.
That's incredibly upsetting. I mean, if it was arson, that would be really just shocking and upsetting because, like Lee said, it's a historical landmark and it means a lot to people.
While the goal is to rebuild in the future,
I want nothing more for it to be restored. It's seen so many generations.
a pastor and congregation forced to lead generations of worship in the past, asking why their haven was done harm.
Whoever it is that's responsible for it ultimately has to answer to God.
The pastor tells me the church will need to be torn down completely, a process that's expected to be finished by August of this year. They would love to rebuild in its entirety, but that process could take a long time, and it's not guaranteed. In Bushwick, Alan Devlin, CBS.
Yeah, in Bushwick. Yeah, but where's Bushwick Bill when you need him? Where's the Ghetto Boys? I can't believe how clueless he is. I know exactly who is doing it. The same people all over the world who are burning down churches. Yeah. Like they don't know. They don't know. Hey, Sweet Daydreams, great to see you. Well, we just hit an hour. So we're 1 hour into the show. I want to thank all the people who are here and remind everybody to please hit the like button. All right. Please. You know, there's only 70 people hit like, and was over 400 people here at one point. I mean, how is a show that terrible that no one wants to hit like? It's, you know, when Notre Dame caught fire, I had doubts that it was an accident. It wasn't. It wasn't. Yeah, do what all the others do, sell it to Muslims and let them build a mosque. Well, that's the thing, Joe. That's the thing. Yeah, the Muslim mayor who appointed an Egyptian Muslim building, inspector, whatever, the head of the building department, said, no, you can't rebuild. You have to demolish it. And we're starting the demolition tomorrow, and you're going to pay for it. While they were still investigating if it was arson. So, yeah, just destroy the evidence so that the Muslim who burned it down can't get arrested. That's what's going on. Hey, what's up, Jen? How you doing? Thanks for being here. Hit the like button. You did. Thank you. Thank you. That's right. Get your premium biltong meats. That's right. I always hit like as soon as I go on to people's channels. Well, thank you. Thank you, DK Spiracy. Thank you. This stuff is going to keep happening. So, the Reformed Church traces its congregation history to the 17th century as one of Brooklyn's oldest Protestant congregations. You're pissed about Mark Wayne Mullen? Oh, so am I. So am I, man. Fire him, Trump. Fire him now. Demolition of the historic church is expected to begin following the city's order. Yeah. Yep, the Muslims say tear it down. Just tear it down. That's what the Muslims say. Tear it down. Loyalists in Northern Ireland burn effigy of mosque in mass migration protest. Well, here you go. Secure our borders. End the threat of radical Islam. Thanks, King of Biltong. Thanks for being here. So, for more than 3 centuries, the 11th night bonfires have been an integral yet divisive part of loyalist traditions in Northern Ireland. Every July 11th, towering stacks of wooden pallets are set alight ahead of an Orange Order celebrations marking King William III's victory at the Battle of Boyne in 1690. For generations, bonfires have fiercely targeted Irish nationalists and Catholics, often by burning symbols associated with the Celtic tradition, including tricolors and effigies of the Pope. Just like the Billy Boys, the oranges. Mark Wayne is Bondy with a deeper voice. Why does Trump keep doing this? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think most of us understand Muslims are not tolerant whatsoever towards our faith and our beliefs, but we bend over backwards for them. I don't. At all. Nope. I don't think they are conducive with U.S., Constitution, with freedom. We should be we should be banning them from coming in. I personally think that, if the founding fathers were still around, they would be like, oh, no, we weren't talking about them. We were talking about Christianity. This year, however, one of the bonfires in the County Tyrone of Mogadishu will have made headlines for a different reason. Perched atop is a replica mosque alongside a banner, secure our borders, end the threat of radical Islam. Wow, cool. Wow. Sure you can. You can hit you got to get your controller and scroll down and go over, and there's a thumbs up you can hit on the TV. It's there. Wow. So, for decades, immigration barely featured in the country's politics. Yeah, but then you let them bring a bunch of people in. Hotels have been converted to accommodate asylum seekers. Display depicting a mosque alongside references to radical Islam is bound to be interpreted different ways. Now it should be interpreted the correct way. Get them out. Loyalist communities in the North are fiercely territorial, having fought their Republican counterparts for hundreds of years. Last month, a North Belfast man was targeted in a brutal street stabbing by a Hadi al-Loaded, an asylum seeker who tried to behead his victim. The attack caused catastrophic life-altering injuries to the man. I know someone else said you can't. No, you can. You can. Can't ship meat that far. Okay. We have a navy because our founders wouldn't put up with Muslim pirates. That's true. 100%. Climb the building, disconnect the speaker. That sounds the most beautiful thing Obama ever heard. Yeah, definitely. So, police have charged a 56-year-old man with offenses under Northern Ireland's public order laws for the effigy. Oh, so they charged the guy with the effigy. What do you know? Yeah. Yeah, they're going to arrest the guy for the effigy. What do you know? What do you know? What do you know? This is actually insane. Algerian agitator sues Marco Rubio, seeks taxpayer money for ICE detention. This is crazy. Obama heard Allahu Akbar and said it's the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. Yeah, screw him. Hey, what's up, Denisha? The likes are low, low, low. I know. I don't know what's going on. Forging Freedom TV, what's up? Thanks for always being here. Thanks for you being here. Yes. Hello, hello, hello. I know we need some likes, man. We need likes, people. I hate to have to say it. Please hit the like button. Hit the like button, please. Come on. It helps share it out to other people. It really does. So this fucking clown needs to go. It's been a while since the rabidly anti-Semitic, anti-Israel agitator Mahmoud Khalil, the Democrat Party's flavor of the month. But they've been busy licking the boots of avowed commies like Mandami and sex predators like Platner to give Khalil much mind. But he's hanging around like a stubborn case of the clap. Khalil's an Algerian green card holder who hates the United States but won't leave. Actually, he's not a green card holder. They revoked his green card. Joe says, sorry, I'm broke. Jim, well, thank you. Thank you so much for the 2. That means, folks, we're now 73 away from adding a first additional hour and 23 away from Bellavision. I got a lot of good stories for everybody tonight. Renee Collins, thanks for being here. Got a bunch of good stories. Greg, hit the like button. Greg can't hit the like button. Well, not the other Greg is no longer with us. On my whole TV screen taken up, no buttons or chat or nothing. They're hitting full screen on it, like hitting full screen on a TV. Oh, well, it should be like, I don't know, like if it's on like Roku or stuff, you use your controller and you can like pause. If you hit pause, stuff will come on the bottom to do different things on YouTube. I don't know. I do it all the time. Bella's still in the closet. Come on, people. We need to bring her out. So as you might recall, he became the face of the October 7th Rage Fest as Queers for Palestine types broke down over Israel's defense of its people. These are the people who had nothing better to do than tear down posters of the hostages, the people taken hostage by Hamas, including several Americans. On Tuesday, Khalil filed a lawsuit against the federal government and Trump officials, including Rubio, Attorney General Blanche, conservative organizations, vowing to get his revenge on those he thinks were involved in his 104-day detention. Oh, look at this. Free the hound. Thank you. Thank you, Renee. Thank you so much. There she is. She's freed. She's freed. She's freed. Bella is freed. Bella is freed. Bella is freed. Thank you so much. And with that, that means we're now $50 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. Thank you so much, Renee Collins, and everybody else who donated tonight. It's greatly appreciated. With your donations is how this show operates. It's almost like PB. Remember how, what was it, PBS and them, how they used to do that, the Center for Broadcasting? It'd be like, your donations help us bring you these shows you love. Without your help, these shows wouldn't be possible. Yes, thank you so much. Yay, Bella. Don't even have to hit pause with the Roku. Yeah, you don't. You can just hit down or whatever, and it'll come up on the Roku. So the lawsuit filed Tuesday in federal court says there's a coordinated campaign with the government. You don't say. The government is engaged in a coordinated campaign to get you out? Yeah, it's called the government. Hey, puppy. Red State first reported that Mahmoud Khalil 2 years ago, when in his role as student negotiator for the Apartheid Divest organization, overtook a college campus and held people hostages. And Joe Biden was president, so there was no repercussions at all. Things changed when President Trump's second term began and accountability was once again prioritized. Khalil came face to face with the reality that when ICE first took him into custody and having his green card revoked, he's ping-ponged his way through various detainments and legal battles, but has remained in the U.S. thanks to activist courts running cover for him. Yeah. As recently in April, it looked like he'd soon be seeing the backside of Khalil when the Board of Immigration Appeals denied his appeal to drop his deportation case. Despite that order, along came the Third Circuit to give the 31-year-old a temporary reprieve, with his lawyers vowing to take things all the way to the Supreme Court. And this gives Khalil the freedom and opportunity to sue the Trump administration and groups like the Heritage Foundation. And announcing his lawsuit, he vowed, "I will not stop fighting until everyone who willingly contributed to missing the birth of my son and taking 104 days of my life answers for what they've done." No, I want to sue this guy. We should sue this guy for taking up our tax dollars. Democrats have a new saying, once you go green card, you can never go back. Yeah. So he's filed a massive lawsuit under the KKK Act. He should be sued under the KKK Act. He's targeting Jews repeatedly. This clown.
This lawsuit is about accountability and justice. And no matter
where's he getting
where
this money?
I am, I will not stop. I will not stop fighting until everyone who willingly contributed to my missing the birth of my son.
Yeah. Son who shouldn't be a U.S. citizen. Whatever. According to Khalil's lawyer, the public-private partnership first brought to light in a separate trial last year may violate the Ku Klux Klan Act. Khalil's asking the court to award compensatory damages for losses and injuries he claimed. So this should be thrown out of court faster than shit through a goose, but we'll have to wait and see. So we'll have to wait and see. We got, weak-kneed judges and other crap, so who knows? Who knows? Trump backs off his 20% toll on ships in the Strait and pushes U.S. investments. So that's what supposedly the countries in the Middle East, like the oil-producing countries, suing doesn't get rid of them. Yeah. China, maybe. Get rid of them all. Definitely. China funds the Demon Rat Party. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. President Trump backed off his proposed 20% toll on ships passing through the Strait. It wasn't really a toll. Avoiding setting up a globally unpopular precedent after Persian Gulf nation offered billions worth of investments in the U.S. Yeah, they're offering we'll just put a bunch of money in the U.S. How's that? I put it out yesterday. I thought it was good, but I was called by different people, different country kings and emirs, and all these people that we all know and love. And frankly, they've been very strong partners. And they said, we'd love to do it a different way. We'd love to invest in the United States with billions and billions of dollars. Okay. So Trump explained that while he has long believed the U.S. was taking on more than what was in its interest with the Strait, he struggled with charging a fee because I don't think anyone should be able to charge for the Strait or for any other Strait relationship in terms of other sections of the world. But what we're doing is a reimbursement. The Gulf states are going to invest a tremendous amount of money in the United States. That was very satisfactory to me. I think it actually is much better. Middle East allies rushing new pipelines and port to bypass Iran's grip on the Strait. Well, I thought they didn't have a grip on the Strait. I mean, that's what I was told. Oil is still under 80. So the president added the Gulf nations told him that there's been never been a time like this with the United States, with factories, with plants, with everything else, and we would like to invest tremendously in the United States as opposing to paying a fee. After his remarks, Trump said that the The reversal was based on a highly productive conversation with Middle East leadership. Those investments will be massive and at the same time extraordinarily good for them and their future. The reversal comes a day after Trump announced a 20% cut of the value, that the U.S. is going to become the guardian of the Strait. One shipping industry expert predicted on Monday that the reimbursement could amount to $200 billion annually. We'll become the guardian of the Strait. Maybe we'll call it the guardian angel of the Strait, and we should be reimbursed for that. So the nations include Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, and others. U.S. military will still play a role in escorting ships and carrying oil, and escorting ships carrying oil and other commercial goods out of the Strait without imposing a toll. There was another part of this. Here.
Babe Ruth stood right.
Babe Ruth stood right there looking at that ball. Look at it. Oh, it's crazy. Yeah.
No, I just told you, you have Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, and Kuwait, primarily, and then others. I spoke to all of them, and they would love to invest more money in the United States at record amounts, and that would be very acceptable. And this way, there's no fee. I don't like the concept of a fee, but at the same time, it's not fair that we're protecting this strait for the entire world, for China and everyone. I don't mind protecting it for China. I don't mind protecting it for anybody, but it's unfair that we're not in somehow compensated. And we've been doing this for many years. It's bothered me 25 years ago. It bothered me. During my first term, I was doing things like you have to invest in the United States. But by doing it that way, there's no fee. They're investing and they're getting a return on their money, and it's good. But they're going to be making massive investments into the United States, and I like that much better.
I like it much better too. It sounds good to me. So, all right, on to the next story. Johnson scores a win as conservative rebels end the House floor blockade over the voter ID bill, which this might sound good, but it's not, because this is over the Save America Act. Rep. Anna Paulina Luna voted yes after Johnson paired the Trump-backed Save America Act to the appropriation bill. So is this a win? I don't know. Let's find out. Is this a win? Look at this, AARP. Good for you, good for me.
Yes, you're right. And you're doing that every day. And Speaker, I want to talk a little about where we're going. You are managing lots of different personalities in the Congress. You have a small margin to actually get the president's agenda passed. You had a rare bipartisan win with the housing bill. But of course, now we're seeing that held up because of the president's threats to not sign it because he wants the Save America bill attached. What are you going to do about it?
Well, I met with the president for a few hours on Thursday in the Oval Office, and we talked about it in great detail. The housing bill really is a Republican priority because it will lower housing costs. We made a lot of promises to the voters, and we're fulfilling those every single day of this Congress. And this is a big part of that because it will increase the availability, the access to more housing, bring down cost, cut regulations, do the things that we know are very important for that market. The president and I talked about that at length. Of course, he wants to do all those things. I'm going to send the bill over to him. It's passed by both chambers. I'm sending it to him on Monday, and it will become law. And I certainly want him to take the biggest, boldest marker that he has and do that big Trump signature proudly on that legislation because we're delivering for the people, and that's what he wants to do.
But of course, more important to the president is the Save America Act. There was a real showdown in the House last week. Anna Paulina Luna saying she's not going to move anything forward from her vote because she wants the Senate to attach the Save America Act to whatever legislation they're pushing. Can you tell us what happened and whether or not you believe that can get across the finish line? I know you've passed it many times in the House.
We have, and the president and I laughed about it in the Oval last week. I told him, you know, Mr. President, I don't have any tattoos, but if I did, it'd say Save America on my shoulder.
Yeah, it would say Save America on my shoulder, probably. So, House conservatives ended their weeks-long blockade after the House floor when John.
The AARP aisle.
No. The rebellion brought legislative business to a standstill for a month. The House successfully passed a procedural vote, 215 to 211, teeing up votes on an appropriations bill funding the State Department. Paired the State Department funding bill with the Save America Act, prompting several conservative holdouts to flip their votes after demanding the House increase pressure on the Senate to pass the stalled measure. What's it say? The new Scotland Yard should be renamed to the new Dud-tards. Yeah, of course. Yeah, because that's like, oh, at first they said, oh, we don't think it's anything. It's nothing. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine. It was not a targeted attack or nothing. It wasn't a targeted attack. It wasn't nothing like that. No, why would you think it was targeted? Why would you think it was a targeted attack? Why? Why? Who knows? Representative Randy Fine of Florida voted no today. He was the sole Republican to vote no. Well, I wonder why. So Randy Fine was the lone vote to oppose it. So conservatives have blocked all major House legislation since late June in an effort to force GOP leaders to hold floor votes on the Trump-backed Save America Act. Speaker has been under mounting pressure to get the House moving again. GOP leaders are racing to draft blueprints for a third big beautiful bill. Anna Paulina Luna was among the GOP rebels who effectively shut down the chamber to pressure the Senate to pass the SAVE Act. Good, pass the SAVE Act. Johnson sought to attach the SAVE Act to the House versions of the annual defense bill, but Luna continued the blockade anyway. If John Thune strips it out in the Senate, that'll be on him, and the entire country should be watching what he does. That's what Luna said. Oh, we got a rant. Thank you. $1 towards the first additional hour. Thank you. With that means, folks, we are now just $49 away from adding a first additional hour. Thank you. Must have been Randy's turn. Trump, who supported the SAVE Act, has repeatedly insisted that the votes do not exist in Thune. I'm sorry. He claims he's supportive, that the votes don't exist. Get the votes. You have enough people. That leaves House Republicans with little leverage to force the Senate to act on the SAVE Act. Well, they could just go, no, we're not going to pass anything. Members of the Conservative Freedom Caucus have advocated for a vote on the permanent Trump Secure Border Act that would codify several Trump executive orders targeting illegal immigration. We need to deliver on codifying border security, deal with the birthright citizenship issue. These are all issues people that I represent care about. Yeah. What are they going to do? I mean, it's getting close. We're running out of time here. They got to start passing stuff. A potential sign of trouble for GOP, some holdouts criticize Johnson's planned legislative goals, making daylight saving time permanent. Who cares about that right now? Referring to the Save America Act priorities. Wow. Self voted yes during the procedure vote. GOP rebels, hardball tactics frustrated many House Republicans. There's a small group of Republicans who are upset at the Senate, and I think all of us are. That's what Mario Diaz-Balart. Isn't Diaz-Balart one of the guys that are voting for they want the Dignidad Act? They want to give them all amnesty? Fuck him. But I don't know how. Yeah, you know, it's all a game. We're being fucking played. Trump has repeatedly said the election integrity measure is top legislative priority. We shouldn't vote on anything else until it's done. That's what Ralph Norman says. The Senate ought to take it up every day and make them vote on it and do a talking filibuster. It's the best course of action. Yeah, all 210 Democrats voted no. Of course, that's the thing. They all vote in lockstep. So until something changes, you can't keep letting this go. You just can't keep letting this go. It's gotta go. It's got to get passed. It's got to get passed. And I don't know what else to do, what else to say about it, except for until they pass the Save America Act, they're not serious about anything. They're all lying to us and playing games. That's the way I look at it. That's the way I look at it. That's my whatever you want to call it, my opinion, my theory, my thesis. So Next story. Here we go. Brexit spokesperson Anne Whitcomb's killing was targeted attack. Yes. Hit the like if you haven't, friend. That's right. Definitely hit the like button, people. Please. Please. I'm over here struggling for likes and begging. I'm doing a little dance. Please hit the like. Please hit the like. Please hit the like for me. Please hit the like. Please hit the like. Hit the like button, please. Yeah, Diaz Balart, cousin of Fidel Castro, wants a path to citizenship with Elvira. I'm America First Salazar. Yeah. This is my favorite channel for news headlines. Well, thank you. Counterterrorism officers are investigating the death of former conservative minister Anne Whitcomb as a suspected terrorist attack. You don't say. You don't say. Whitcomb, who went on to join the Brexit Party and Reform UK after being a conservative, was found dead in her bungalow in Hayter, Devon, suffering serious injuries. Police believed she was killed 24 hours before she was discovered. A 28-year-old man arrested on suspicion of murder was rearrested in connection with the crime on preparation or instigation of acts of terrorism after new information was uncovered. Lawrence Taylor, head of counterterrorism. Wow, Lawrence Taylor, man. Remember how... yeah. Wow. Your stream has more down thumbs than up? Really? Wow. I don't see any down thumbs. Wow, cool. I thought you were talking about me. I was like, what? Lawrence Taylor, what a great linebacker, right? Not true. I just hit the like as well. Well, thank you, Josie Cat. So, Devon and Cornwall police previously said there was no information to suggest the killing was politically motivated. Oh, your stream, not mine. Okay. All right. I was getting worried. After new information or evidence emerged, it has since been reported that an unnamed male suspect had Russian communist literature in his home. You don't say. Russian communist literature. Taylor said police have received permission to hold the suspect for up to 7 additional days under the Terrorism Act while questioning continues. We've also been granted a warrant of further detention, which means the suspect can now be held for questioning for up to 7 days. He added that investigators are pursuing several lines of inquiry. I wish I was Bella right now. She looks cozy. How do you tell down thumbs? Well, I can see it. I don't think anybody else can. I would be able to see it. No one else would be able to. Because I own the stream, I think. So, hey, we finally got over 100 thumbs up. That's awesome. So this is a complex investigation. There's multiple lines of inquiry they're pursuing. So that's what they're doing. That's where they're at. Got this crazy story. A rogue elephant stalks a family for 14 years to kill 4 members, even after they moved miles away to escape the fury. So this is they say an elephant never forgets. DK Spiracy says, imagine not having to pay rent and being fed for free. Wait, illegals get that. Yes, they do. There are extensions for that, e.g. return YouTube will dislike. Wow, killer elephant. Oh, and maybe she was maybe they were mad that you killed her baby or something at the fair or whatever. Maybe it was a elephant. Elephant. It wasn't an elephant, it's a elephant. With a long memory and a thirst for bloodshed, Derby, the Nepalese menace, is estimated to have killed over 25 people. And what's more terrible, the notorious and rogue Nepalese elephant has stalked the family of Shinachapoti for years. The tusker has killed 4 of his family members 14 years apart, including 2 now after they moved miles away. Notorious wild beast stalks Nepalese family. Yes. Mm-hmm. Crazy. Yes, they never forget. Boti's nightmare began in December 2012 when Derby, the infamous killer elephant whose human death toll is now 25, fatally trampled a man's parents in the Nepalese town of Madi near the Chitwan National Park. The Kathmandu Post said, "We're going to Kathmandu. I'm going to take you to We'll never get out of here. I'm going to Catman do now. I'm ever to the East Coast. I'm going to driven the most. The grief-stricken son packed up and moved himself and his family to safety, setting up his new homestead 9 miles away across the Rapti River after a Jagdatour outlet. Earlier this month, Darby tracked him down. Dobby is one of them house elves, and he can snap a finger. Maybe this is the elephant Dobby from Harry Potter. Whitcomb was a fierce advocate of free speech and religious. Horrible that she was murdered. Horrible, total horrible. Yes, it's brutal. I didn't hurt it. Hope they remember that. Yes. Elephant killed 2 members of the family in 2012. 14 years later, they found their new house and killed 2 more. Woo-hoo. Dobby, yes. Remember Dobby? Mm-hmm. The house elf? Harry Potter is Dobby's friend. You will not harm Harry Potter. Same ears anyway, yes. They never mentioned what he did to the elephant. Yeah, what were they doing to the elephant? Maybe the elephant had a point. The elephant has a long history of fatal misdeeds. He's reportedly killed more than 24 people. The latest 2 casualties in Jagatpur. A family has been hunted by the killer elephant. I don't know. That elephant looks friendly to me. I don't know. After a series of killing, Nepalese authorities issued a license to eliminate Derby in 2012. And the army was deployed to kill the elephant, but it escaped into the national park. The license is no longer valid. It might be justified. That's what I'm saying. Who knows what they did? I'm taking Dumbo's side. Definitely. I mean, maybe they were treating Dobby poorly. They refused to give Dobby any clothes, you know. Maybe the Malfoys were being very mean and punishing Dobby and being cruel to Dobby. Maybe all Dobby wanted was someone to be Dobby's friend. Someone to be Dobby's friend. I'm on Dobby's side too. There you go. Food is pachyderm, right? Sure. Swedish government faces protests outside the D.C. embassy over removal of Christian families' daughters due to religious extremism. Or perhaps it's an animal. Yeah, perhaps it's an animal. Yeah. Yes. Yeet the evil Jeets. Could be. Hey, Roselle Jam, great to see you. YouTube did not show your channel on my feed today. That's horrible, YouTube. You suck, YouTube. I feel for all the Lord's creatures, not humans so much. That's the thing. Like animals, love all animals. People, not so much. But all you in the chat, I love all of you in the chat. You're all my favorite people in the world. Please hit the like button. There's something wrong with this picture. I can't put my finger on it. So protesters gathered outside the Swedish embassy in Washington, D.C. on Friday in support of a Christian family in their fight to regain custody of their 2 daughters who were removed from their home by Swedish authorities in 2022 due to alleged religious extremism. Kid, we're at least reading while Rawlings wrote that series. Oh, yeah, J.K. Rawlings, yes. Kids were at least reading, yeah. So Romanian Americans and religious leaders rallied in solidarity with Daniel and Bianca Sampson. The Sampsons. Samson Simpson, whose daughters, Sarah and Tiana, were taken into state custody. The incident stems from That was weird. My TV just flashed big time. Everything cool? Everything working? Is that my TV? Okay, that was weird. Very weird. Hey, Finch, how you doing? The incident stems from a false claim of abuse made by Sarah when she was 11 after her parents told her she was not allowed to wear makeup or have a smartphone. Sarah later admitted to lying, but Swedish social services removed both girls from the home anyway. Despite prosecutors finding no evidence of abuse, the state refused to return the girls, citing the family's regular church attendance and media choices as religious extremism. Daniel Sampson argued in court that extremism label was used to justify separation from his children, as well as certain parenting choices the couple made, such as not having television in the home and reading Bible stories that authorities reportedly characterized as violent. Check your surge protector that the TV's plugged into. Yeah, that's something weird. Like the TV just went, but nothing else did it, just the TV. With the family being Romanian, the case had drawn support from the Romanian government. Last month, the Romanian Senate unanimously approved a declaration demanding the Swedes return the girls to the family. Romanian Senator Titus Colatarian said that the demands were ignored. Colatarian recently traveled to speak at the Friday rally in D.C. Also present was Chicago pastor Christian Lanciu, the senior pastor of Alim Romanian Pentecostal Church and president of the Romanian Pentecostal Churches Union in the United States. Lanciu warned of concerns that such government overreach could come to the U.S. Church in Sweden, I guess church is a reason to take your kids. The Europeans have become very anti-religious, unless you're Muslims. The Muslims can do anything in Europe you want. But if you're a Christian and you go to church and you practice Christianity, you're an extremist and they're going to lock you up. That's where we're at, folks. You are being conquered. You are being conquered. You either have to stand and fight or surrender. Cell phone and makeup at 11 could be considered religious extremism. I don't think so. Not at 11. Not at 11. If she was 16, I'd say, well, that's a little extreme. But 11 years old, not giving them a cell phone, there's nothing wrong with that. That's just parenting decisions. And makeup, that's not a teenage girl. So I see a surge of communist politicians, and this is always associated with a totalitarian society. In Romania, they didn't confiscate the children from the families, but they were trying to educate them in a worldview and in a system contrary to Christian values, and parents that did not cooperate were persecuted. I hope we don't see this in America. That's why I left Romania 40 years ago. America used to be the cradle of true civilization, Christianity. Now it's changing and not for the better, but I hope we'll still hold the front line. The girls have reportedly been under emotional stress from the incident and have attempted suicide 6 or 7 times in custody. The giving it could be. Oh, yeah, giving it. Sure, giving them. I could say that's extremism, definitely. Giving it to them. The older daughter has been put in an adult psychiatric facility. It's horrible, and it's a desperate situation. The girls are asking all the time to be given back to their parents and to Romania, and to social services are constantly lying, saying the daughters are refusing to go back to the parents. So basically, they're probably trying to trans them or something. It's probably what's happening. The Swedes are probably trying to experiment on them. Fucking Swedes. Outrage after illegal alien semi-truck driver who killed 3 people in fiery crash sentenced to just over 4 years by a demon rat judge. Killed 3 people, 4 years. Yes. Bloody commies, all their propaganda has to be forced as they steal your kids. Yeah. So Jashanprit Singh, the 21-year-old illegal alien who killed 3 people on Southern California freeway, was sentenced to under 5 years in prison. Fucking California, man. Yeah. Yeah, but God forbid you get caught with a magazine that holds more than 10 rounds in California. It'll send you to jail for 20 years. Singh previously pleaded guilty to 3 counts of vehicular manslaughter. Superior Court Judge Shannon Faraday, she was previously appointed by Newscomb to fill a vacancy, sentenced Singh to 4 years and 8 months in prison after he killed 3 people. According to Bill Malugin, Singh is an illegal alien from India who was caught and released by the Biden administration. I'm told ICE is placing a detainer request on Singh with the San Bernardino Sheriff's Office where he is in custody of suspicion of causing a DUI. Per multiple sources, Jashanprit Singh killed 3 people. He's a DUI crash. John McClane was right. You ain't kidding. Maybe he'll get prison justice. Maybe. 3 people were killed. Several of those were injured, and Singh plowed into a bunch of vehicles. It took over 24 hours from the time of the accident for the Highway Patrol to release the identity of the driver. CHP inquiries about the incident of the truck driver who caused a crash, but Jimenez would not respond. Dashcam video obtained by KBAC shows the moment Singh plowed into 3 vehicles. A total of 8 vehicles, 4 big rig trucks were involved in the deadly crash. And here it is.
News with live breaking news. We begin with breaking news at 11. This exclusive video just in. It's dash cam video shared with Eyewitness News.
and it's from the red semi-truck that plowed into a number of vehicles on the westbound 10 freeway in Ontario just after 1 p.m. today. It is now the subject of several law enforcement investigations. This fiery collision killing 3 people and involving a total of 8 vehicles. Tonight, the CHP telling the LA Times the driver of this big rig is a 21-year-old man who is now under arrest on suspicion of driving under the influence of drugs. A total of 4 semis were involved and also 4 passenger vehicles, one of them, as you saw, exploding in flames. In addition to the 3 people killed in this mass casualty incident, at least 4 other people were taken to local hospitals.
Less than 5 years.
We have a live picture now from Air 7 over that deadly crash scene in Ontario. Southbound lanes are open. Westbound traffic is moving again, but only in the fast track lanes. Tow trucks continue to clear the roadway, and that red semi that slammed into all those trucks and cars still close to the shoulder of the road, along with another semi that was also caught up in all of this.
Yeah, meth head driving a truck. Who knows? But this is just ridiculous. Less than 5 years for killing 3 people and doing all that. That's crazy. It's insane. This is the two-tier justice system. This is what they call anarcho-tyranny. They let the criminals, these people, they do whatever. But if you do something to that guy, if you call that guy, a towel head or something like that, or some slur, raghead, something like that, anything like that. I'm not saying to do that. I would never do that. That's ignorant. But I'm just saying if you did, they'd probably lock you up for 5 years for a hate crime in California. Yeah. Hate speech. Just saying. He should be sentenced to a crash test dummy. Yes, definitely. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Wealthy New Yorkers flee the Empire State, leaving $11 billion in lost tax revenue. Wow. Look at them. They're all happy about it. They're all happy. In the recent years, the Empire State's been seeing a massive decline in millionaires, fueling the state's tax revenues, leading to nearly $11 billion in losses. Wow, $11 billion in losses. That's a lot of money, 11 billions. The study released on Monday by the Citizen Budget Commission comes as New Yorkers have feared that socialist, well, he's a commie. Stop calling him a socialist. He's a fucking commie. Commie Mandami is looking to raise taxes even further. According to the study, before the commie was elected, New York's share of millionaires in the nation dropped from 12% to 8%. Wow, 50% reduction, almost, between 2010 and 2022. According to the study, that is the largest drop of any state in the nation. New York's declining share of high-income taxpayers has meaningful consequences. Had New York maintained its share over the past decade, personal income tax collections would have been substantially higher, roughly $11 billion more in tax revenue in 2022. Wow. But I thought the rich didn't pay tax. Yeah, that's the thing. They lie, right? That's who pays them all. Hit that like and comment. It helps, Rumble Peoples. It does. It really does help. They were telling us in the service not to call them Haji. I told my lieutenant colonel, why not? If they completed the Hajj, they are Hajis. Call them whatever. They call us worse. That's what I'm saying. Hajis, skinnies. In Somalia, they were skinnies. Many business leaders, I just call them smellies. Many business leaders, as well as investors, have warned against Mandami's ambitions to tax the rich and make the wealthy pay an even greater share of the tax burden. Mandami pressed on New York Governor Kathy Hochul to increase taxes on the wealthy in the state, despite previously promising not to do so. Although she did not raise the corporate tax or income tax, New York implemented a pied-à-terre tax on high-value non-primary residences in an attempt to get more revenue. The commie celebrated the implementation of the tax when it took place and posted footage outside of Ken Griffin's $238 million Manhattan penthouse. Smellies. Yes, that's what I call them. Iraq must have been hell. Oh. And the commie leaders are too stupid to realize that they'll never get that money back. Yeah. Yeah. Towel heads, forehead, skid mark. Yeah. In reaction, Griffin threatened to pull $6 billion Midtown project over the implementation. States like New York and California have seen an exodus in business as well. New York Stock Exchange has set up shop in Texas, even though it has a presence in New York. And Elon Musk's Tesla has become based in Texas instead of California. You just say Jeets. So, yeah, there's also a bunch of stuff in Florida. They moved a bunch of stuff to Brickell. So, yeah, let them roll. Let it come. Let it come. Let it come. I don't know. Look at this. ICE's HSI Seattle investigation leads to a 27-year prison sentence for a child sex predator. See, ICE is doing great work like this out there, and yet they're telling them they can't pull people over and do stuff. You know. ICE Homeland Security probe resulted in a 27-year prison sentence for a dangerous repeat offender pedophile who preyed on children, coercing young girls to produce child pornography for him. Corbett Lloyd Craig of Goldendale, Washington, targeted his victims on social media and enticed them with money, said Immigration and Customs Enforcement. I mean, they could have just sentenced him to a wood chipper. But he pleaded guilty to 2 counts of enticement and attempted enticement of a child and 1 count of possession of child sex abusement images. Judge Mary Catherine Dibke ordered him to be placed on lifetime supervised release following his lengthy prison term. He was sentenced on June 26th. The sexual predator targeted his victims online from early 2022 until June 2025. Acting ICE Director David Ventrilla and said Craig coerced 2 girls into providing him sexually explicit videos and images. He enticed one of the children by offering her money via gift cards and online payments. This is an adult who knew the girls were just kids, but he still intended to elicit sex material from them. I'm incredibly proud of Homeland Security investigative special agents who invested their time and effort in this case. An HSI task force comprised of local and federal law enforcement agencies executed a search warrant at Craig's home, discovered thousands of additional files of CSM. According to the investigation, Judge Dimke took Craig's criminal history into account when imposing the sentence, adding aggravated offender enhancements. In 2017, he was convicted of encouraging child abuse in the 2nd degree, sex abuse in the 3rd degree, and contributing to the sexual delinquency of a child in Clackamas County Court in Oregon. Why is this person not in jail if this happened in 2017? What is going on? Federal investigators discovered CSM images from his 2017 case and a child he had personally victimized on his computer. Why? Why is he not under the jail? Craig was fully aware of his actions were not just extremely immoral, but illegal as well. Now, this sentence will keep the predator off the streets and keep our children safe. We owe the community nothing less. All of our countries? What? I don't expect that last comment to go on screen. I don't know what comment you're talking about. Let me see. Oh, which one? This one? I don't know. So removing this defendant from our community, ensuring he can't have access to children is the only way to ensure our protection. Yeah. ICE investigations branch that handles a wide range of matters outside of immigration. The Klickitat County Sheriff's Department assisted HSI Seattle with the investigation. See, look at ICE is doing great work. There's a reason why our GWAT soldiers call them savages. It's the most polite word for them. Yeah, I agree. I want to get the global war on. I want to do GWAP, GWAP, global war on pedophiles. Does my other comment not show up for you? It was full of racial slurs. I didn't see any other comment. I'm in the chat. I don't see any other comment. I'm in the Ghetto Chat plugin has a ban list. Oh, yeah, I don't have anything. I don't see it. Sorry. I don't have any ban lists or anything like that. So thank you. No. All right. So USDA releases 400 million flies to fight the flesh-eating screwworm attacking Texas livestock. No jeets, no muzzies. Wonder which word did it. Let's try. I don't know. So let's see something here. Let's see something.
Please press the like button for Bella. I would really appreciate it. Thanks for your support. Please press the like button for Bella. I would really appreciate it. Thanks for your support.
That was pretty cool. Thank you. That was created by CF Rob. Thank you, Rob. I had to get the Khalil story from Red State because the first link had abbreviated for hooded Southern crew. Cool. Yes. No, not that one. Muslim jihad. No, none of them things. None of them. So I seen Canadians call Indian Sikhs Jeets. Yes. Weird. Yes. Oh, hello, Bella. Yes. So an outbreak continues to spread, and entomologist Philip Coffin warns we had a lack of sufficient flies in order to start pushing the population of screwworms back south. So you need more flies? Ugh, that looks gross. So USDA has released nearly 400 million sterile flies over southern Texas and northern Mexico this year as officials race to stop the spread of the New World screwworm, a flesh-eating parasite capable of devastating livestock and wildlife. Unprecedented aerial campaign comes as the USDA works to prevent the parasite from becoming reestablished in the United States after the post-millennial reported that confirmed cases had been... What? No. What is going on? What happened? That's not the story. This is not the story. What happened? Anyway, I don't know. So they're releasing a bunch of flies. The story, it left. I don't know what happened to the story. So, I don't know.
Just a moment on the New World screwworm. So it is a vexing challenge that we thought we had beaten in the 1960s and 1970s. As I mentioned, unfortunately, that was wrong as the screwworm began to make its way back towards us in 2021. The way we defeated it before, you need about 400 million sterile flies per week to actually mate with the bad flies, sterilize them. And then, of course, the way that the flesh is in wounds becomes open to these screwworms, which are actually flies. The flies land in the wound, they lay their eggs. The larva then is what actually eats the flesh. If you catch it right away, you can save the animal. And put them back into the supply system after a number of days. If you don't catch it right away, then that's where the problem ensues. Back when we did beat it, again, as I mentioned, it's about 400 million sterile flies a week. And that was in the 1960s, 1970s, because over years we as a country, we as a hemisphere had taken our eye off the ball, thinking it was eradicated. We got down to only 100 million sterile flies in production a week in a facility in Panama. So that is what we, the country, not me or USDA, but the country really had relied on to keep it out of Central America and Mexico, et cetera. So here we are. When we got in last year, I was presented with the information. It's starting to move its way up. I went to the president and I said, this is going to be a massive problem because we need 400 million to 500 million flies per week to beat this back. We only have one facility in our entire hemisphere, and it's only producing 100 million flies per week. So got immediate approval to begin permitting and construction on what will be the largest facility in the world on this, and that is being built right now in Mission, Texas. So instead of a couple years of permitting, our Army Corps of Engineers, our Secretary of the War, put it at the top of the list, got it fast-tracked, and we broke ground about 3 or 4 months ago. That facility will come online when it does next year. When it does, it'll produce about 300 million flies per week, in addition to the 100 million from Panama. And then we outfitted an additional Mexican facility in Matapa for another $100 million. So we will get back to the point where we're able to push it back and eradicate it. But until that point, which is likely sometime next year, our effort in trapping, surveillance, we had FDA fast track a lot of treatment. We've got a national veterinary supply stockpile that was loaded onto a plane this morning, is headed to South Texas.
Wow, so that's good. That's good news, right? Good news. So yeah, so we need to do something. Screwworm's bad, so we got to get rid of it. So they're releasing 400 million flies, and they're getting into it. So, all right, and then this blockade is back. Iran's getting crushed. Trump just flipped the switch. U.S. Navy's resuming a fluid naval blockade on Iranian ports, costing them 400 million a day, while CENTCOM pounds targets. We gave them a chance. They shot first. Big mistake.
This hour, the blockade is officially back on. Right now, U.S. Central Command is resuming its naval blockade of Iranian ports in the Strait of Hormuz. After Iran has continued to target shipping in the waterway, today's action means a reversal.
Do you not understand the flies? It's about the screwworm infestation. It'll destroy the beef market and everything. It'll get into all the beef, the pork, chicken. It'll destroy all our livestock. It'll spread like wildfire, and just basically the meat's no good then. It's infected. Those flies cost $1 a piece. Wow. I didn't know they were that expensive. I thought they were cheaper than that. Love how all these diseases and infestations all seem to happen when Biden opened the border. Yeah. They're talking about black flies, right? I don't know. There's some kind of sterile flies so that they go and mate with the other flies and they basically sterilize them. Just like Mad Cow did. No, this is different. This is screwworm. This has been a thing that's been for years. It was a problem like 20, 30 years ago, and they beat it back, and they were basically keeping it. It comes from South America. They had it blocked basically at Panama, and then something happened. You know, all these genetically modified crap to destroy our food sources. Yeah. The flies. $1 a piece, huh? Wow.
For President Trump, who says he has no regrets.
No regrets.
Given how the Iranians have been behaving, do you have any regrets about lifting the naval blockade or giving the sanctions waivers?
No, I gave them a chance. I wanted to give them a chance at making a deal. You know, we had a deal 2 days ago. It was done. And then all of a sudden, they couldn't do it. They didn't like something about the deal. They couldn't do it. And they shot first. And that was a big mistake that they shot first, because we have been knocking the hell out of them.
Yeah, that's the people too. Yeah.
They're very difficult people. 47 years we put up with it.
Just last hour, CENTCOM announcing an additional wave of strikes on Iran is underway after a wave of attacks last night, all aimed at degrading Iran's ability to attack commercial shipping. In the 5-hour mission overnight, U.S. forces successfully striking multiple military targets, hitting coastal defense systems, missile and drone sites, and maritime capabilities. Time will tell how this blockade will play out. But in the meantime, what we know for sure, traffic in the Strait is the lowest it's been in 5 weeks. Yesterday, just 10 ships passed through, compared with 130 on an average day pre-conflict. And while today is just the beginning of the action, Trump has an idea of how things might end up.
And we will end up discontrolling the whole thing. And what they're doing is being very foolish, very stupid, and they've treated people horribly. They've killed 52,000 protesters so far that we can determine. It might be more than that, but 52,000 protesters have been killed, and it's really a terrible situation. But we'll have it under control very quickly.
And with that, we kick things off with Lucas Tomlinson live in Tel Aviv with the very latest. Hey, Lucas.
Good afternoon, Griff. The blockade is back on, and when fully enforced by the U.S. Navy, it will cost Iran over $400 million a day. And tonight, on President Trump's orders, a 6th wave of U.S. airstrikes is striking Iran. That's the 6th time over the past week. And while it's been relatively quiet here in Israel in recent weeks, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu had this warning for Iran earlier today.
Do not count on it being quiet if you attack us. Do not count on a rerun. This will be a different event, much more powerful.
Here's video of strike aircraft launching from the George H.W. Bush and Abraham Lincoln. She's been at sea for over 200 days without a port call, Griff. F-35B stealth fighter jets also launched from the amphibious assault ship Boxer. Tomahawk cruise missiles also fired from destroyers in the strike groups. Despite the American bombardment over the past week, Iran has been launching attacks of its own against neighboring Gulf states, including Kuwait and Bahrain. Earlier today, where U.S. troops are based, the Kuwaiti army just reported Iran fired 33 drones, 6 missiles into its country. They say all were shot down. Now, this is the aftermath of an Emirati tanker hit on her starboard side by an Iranian cruise missile last night, killing 1 crew member and wounding 8 others. Other tankers have been hit as well, and as you mentioned, traffic in the Strait of Hormuz has slowed to a trickle in recent days. There have not been any attacks by Iran against Israel since early June. And the last attack by Hezbollah into northern Israel was roughly 2 weeks ago. So the U.S. naval blockade on Iranian ports is now in effect, and U.S. aircraft from the U.S. Navy and Air Force is now striking Iran. Griff?
Lucas Thompson, live for us in Tel
We need
Aviv.
more
Lucas,
carriers,
thank
yes.
you.
Definitely. So yeah, so that's what's happening there. So praise be to Allah. Here's one for the gay Ayatollah. Allah, send it in there. Yes. Imagine how triggered the liberals and woke right are going to be when they pull up the gas station and fill up $1.09. Well, not yet. Not quite yet. Got this story. Andy No to Posobiec, the Zizians inside the death trans cult. Yes. If Israel was gone, no war in the Middle East. If Israel was gone, there'd be huge wars in a bunch of other places. They'd be bombing the shit out of everybody else, I think. I don't know. I mean, what is little Israel doing to everybody that bothers them? I don't know. I think it was juggling between the law of 60 days or declare war and stocking up on our stuff. Yeah, probably. The Zizians. So the Post-Millennials editor at large, Andy No, joined Human Defense to discuss the Zizians. The Zizians. NGO told Posobiec that the book, which is scheduled to release in October, is not intended as a political work, but rather a account of what he discovered. People can think of them like if Manson was trans and all the members were trans. They are linked to 8 very violent, brutal deaths. NGOs, Andy No, NGO, I don't know. NGO, Andy No, I don't know. Andy No, NGO, I don't know. Israel will never be gone unless all the stars and planets are gone. So his book grew from broader reporting into the violence connected to extremist movements. The book is titled Zizians. He noted the project was written as a true crime investigation rather than political commentary. Despite years of covering controversial and violent subjects, the details covered during his research were difficult. I've seen a lot of really disgusting, sick things over my decades, and this is a very dark subject. He said the danger was something he had already experienced throughout his career. Remember, he got milkshaked in the head with a concrete milkshake. Of course, it was quite scary. I had to do field research. I went to places associated with this cult and sought out sources and witnesses. Posobiec also brought up the aftermath of Charlie Kirk's assassination and the online reaction that followed. Very important for people to see this part of behind the rise in the violent trans extremism. Yeah, I think that's violent trans extremism is what killed Charlie, I think. Furry, trans, whatever you want to call it, NGBOLQS, PDCFs. Ideology, they're victims. That's when they actually goes out and commits violence and kills children and people. That's what these trans do. The book examines how the Zizian movement developed and what they believe and what can be learned. A guy I knew, rest in peace, was one who backed up and saved NGO when he got Andy No when he got attacked. So the Zizians is a book that explores this phenomenon of the crazed trans killers. Some communities had not publicly embraced or claimed individuals involved in the violent incidents. In Andy No's view, public affiliation was not necessary for ideological influence to exist. They don't have to claim them. They just have to see the evidence and that they back what they're doing. He believed that it was needed to eliminate hate and it needed to take direct action. Yes, that's exactly what they instructed people to do. The Zizians, set to release October 13th. Hey, Kelly J, awesome. Thanks for being here. It almost blinded him, yes. So that's what's going on with that. All right. And then the Trump White House hosted Iraq's prime minister. This guy, Iraq Islami. Iraq's new prime minister, Ali al-Zaid, was at the White House. The two men will speak to the press at 11 a.m. for what Trump described as a victory, as the beginning of a tremendous new chapter between our nations. Thought I heard something. Well, that's awesome. Hold on. I keep getting this weird warning. Hold on a second. I gotta go.
Please press the like button for Bella. I would really appreciate it. Thanks for your support.
Hey, come here. I got something for you. Come here. Come here. James. James, come here. 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 I'll be out in a minute, all right? I'll be out in a minute. Okay? You can't come in. Come on. Sorry. My grandson's having an issue. Yeah, the kid. Sorry. Yeah, don't show my messages on screen for YouTube so often. Okay, I won't. The crying baby. Yeah, there's something going on. So we'll see. So let's do this. So an Air Force helicopter makes an emergency landing in D.C. So an Air Force VIP helicopter had to make an emergency landing in D.C.
An emergency landing in Northwest D.C. Military helicopter made an emergency landing in Northwest D.C. last night. This happened near the grassy area of Vauxhall Road and Whitehaven Parkway, excuse me. There are several law enforcement agencies involved, including D.C. Police, the FBI, and HSI. They all responded.
Your doors keep moving. Yeah, it's my grandson. He's upset. So the
I've been stuck on this problem for ages.
Helicopter made emergency landing, strange mechanical sounds. Air Force Public Affairs confirmed landing. No one was hurt. It was a routine training mission, identified a potential mechanical issue. Crew landed out of an abundance of caution. No injuries or damage. So the UH-1N helicopter is the first helicopter squadron out of Joint Base Andrews. Capitol Police said officers arrested a man at the North Barricade after discovering. Oh, that's a different story. So, all right. Chopper landing. Helicopter lands in D.C. Law enforcement investigation continued. We saw that. It's unclear why it landed. So I saw reports that it was a VIP helicopter. So I don't know. I have to see what's up with that. Trump administration cracks down on banks lending to illegal aliens. This is good news, right? Pretty good news, huh? What do you think? I think so. Trump administration on Monday announced sweeping new banking rules aimed at cracking down on lending to illegal immigrants, requiring lenders to consider the borrowers without legal work authorization may pose elevated credit risk. How about just saying they can't do it? You know. The rules require banks and credit unions to account for the possibility that an illegal immigrant could lose his job, may be unable to find lawful work, or be removed from the country. The Office of the Comptroller of Currency, the FDIC, and the National Credit Union Administration issued the guidance, joint guidance under Trump's executive order, restoring integrity to our financial system. Agencies urged banks to take into account all illegal immigrants pose increased risk. Banks were told to identify, measure, and control the risks through underwriting and other loan monitoring systems. The new rules make immigration enforcement part of ordinary bank lending decisions. So the approach resembles the transition risk framework regulators previously applied to climate policy. So banks were expected to consider whether future government action or changing consumer preferences could weaken a borrower or strand an asset. Yeah. It's weird. They don't do it for stuff on the ocean front, though. They don't have a problem for that because the whole claim about oceans rising is all bullshit, I think, maybe. They keep buying property. But George Soros just bought a whole bunch of property. A bank with a large concentration of such borrowers could suffer correlated credit deterioration, with many loans weakening at once. The likely result is a tighter credit market for illegal immigrants. Good. They shouldn't have any credit. Fair lending law does not stand in the way, according to the administration. The guidance directs a bank to consult a statement from the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau, which instructed creditors that the Equal Credit Opportunity Act provides the creditor may take the applicant's immigration status into account. The guidance completely reverses the Biden administration's position. In 2023, the Biden Justice Department Civil Rights Division issued a statement urging lenders to ignore a borrower's immigration status. move that encouraged lending to illegal aliens. This is a Biden administration, people. Yeah, lend to illegals. Yeah, let them get FHA loans. Get them to let government-backed loans, too. Loans that could be going to your kids. That's why you can't get houses. The fucking housing market, just in the 4 years that Biden administration, just in the 4 years of Biden, all right, housing prices went up. 30% of the increase in housing was caused by illegal immigrants. The study came out. The government, the Fed released it earlier. Yeah, this is all because of illegal immigrants. Why does that not surprise you? Me neither, right? So he also made clear that banks would be expected to ask on risks identified by the agency. The housing market may see the largest effects from the new policy. Credit determines how much a borrowers can bid from homes. So yeah, so maybe housing will get that. Any updates from CENTCOM? We'll look in 1 second. So, and an inflow of unauthorized workers equal to 1% of local employment associated with a 2.2% increase in home prices. Yeah. So it's right here. Economists attributed 30% of home price growth and 20% of rent growth just from the illegal immigration during Biden's 4 years. 30% increase in housing growth, 20% increase in rent growth just from the illegal immigration. That's insane. That's insane. That is insane. Insane. Wow. Totally insane. Here's an update from CENTCOM. Let me see. But well, wait, before we get into that, let's hear this. Just a little finish on this. A little bit.
The AARP aisle, where every shelf is packed with perks just for you, from hotel.
The true cost of Biden's failed border policies, federal economists finding out that Biden-era illegal immigration drove up housing costs. According to a new Federal Reserve working paper, each 1% increase in unauthorized workers corresponded with about 2.2% rise in home prices and a 1.4% increase in rents. Joining us now, Congresswoman Claudia Tenney. And Congresswoman, you know, under Biden, millions of illegal immigrants flooded into local communities. And of course, there was a shortage of housing. The prices went up. And that is just one example of many impacts. And of course, the data tells the story, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad that they came out with this report and where they're not even talking about all the other costs and expenses, from the phones that were given to them, the housing, the food, everything that was given at actually premium prices in New York City and across New York State, where communities up in upstate New York, where I am, were forced to take these illegal immigrants. They were bussed up, and many of our veterans and others were displaced, and people who are truly needy, who have been citizens or served our nation, were not able to have the benefits that they deserve and they earn. So this is part of the problem. That's why you saw inflation and costs go up so much, because we took all these people in and they took away from the wealth. Taxes went up. Look at the New York State budget. You know, it's the biggest budget.
Well, you should know, Jer, in California, that they were giving money to first-time home buyers. They give like a big discount, you know, first-time home buyer program. So anybody who's here, you know, illegally, they could get a loan. They would get a loan. And under the Biden administration, you're talking about millions. There was a chart. I don't know if they have it here. There's a chart that shows the increase, like how many percentage of loans given. And like it was always like less than 1% of loans given to people without papers. And then under the Biden administration, it jumped to almost 10 to 15% of all home loans given were people with no papers, because they were getting all kinds of benefits because they were first-time home buyers. So they were getting this credit and that credit. Basically, they were giving your tax dollars away to illegal aliens to buy houses so that you couldn't get them. That's what happened. You thought it was a dude talking? All right. Yeah, man, you need stable for years and so many other qualifications. Well, they were giving them all types of stuff, man. That's why why under the Biden administration did it jump from less than 1% to like 15% of mortgages going to illegal aliens. I mean, that's just a fact, dude. Look it up. I'm not making it up. I'm not lying.
in history, went up tremendously, over $15 billion from last year. And by the way, never has been adjusted for the COVID increases in the past. And when I served in the state legislature, it was about half of what it is right now. So incredibly high, a lot of spending, and really bad on a part of New York and some other states as well.
What do you make of DOJ officially shutting down as an official federal agency? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that the DOJ served, as you showed it, they actually cut about $215 billion, but it's really our job in Congress. And that's one thing we saw with the working families tax cuts. No one talks about the fact that we had the largest spending tax cut or spending cut and rescission cut in American history, $1 trillion in that bill last year, not to mention the growth that it's going to cause by giving all these businesses the incentives that we saw in the Trump tax cuts from 2017 extended, made permanent, and you're going to see long-term growth continue, and those Trump accounts are going to continue to grow because of what we put into that bill. It was a very comprehensive bill, probably the most important bill we've ever passed in Congress.
Okay. All right. Well, let's check in with CENTCOM. All right. CENTCOM completes more strikes against Iran. This was published 10 minutes ago. CENTCOM completed additional rounds of strikes at 10 p.m. Eastern time, hitting dozens of military targets. U.S. fighter aircraft, drones, and naval vessels launched precision munitions, hitting naval capabilities, missile sites, drone sites, coastal defense systems during a 7-hour wave to further degrade Iran's ability to threaten commercial shipping. I thought there wasn't anything left to hit. I don't know. The strikes took place the same day U.S. forces resumed the naval blockade against vessels transiting to and from Iranian ports and coastal areas. The blockade went into effect at 4 p.m. today. Forces remain vigilant, lethal, and prepared. This footage released July 14th. This looks like I've seen this footage before. Do they keep releasing the same footage? Oh, that's an F-35. Wow. Hammering all along the Persian Gulf Coast, too. So, all right. So that's what's, don't stop until there's nothing left to hit. That's the way I look at it. Well, everybody, unfortunately, we did not hit the goal tonight for even a first hour. We didn't even get, we barely made it halfway there. So I want to thank everybody who was here. I guess we'll see everybody tomorrow night at 7 p.m., 8 p.m., depending on when Rob Gavea goes. The very day police quit protecting them. Yeah. So maybe, I don't know, tomorrow night will be better. I guess I will send everybody over to FFS, I think, on FFS on YouTube, and then on Rumble over to you got to see Bella. Yes, you did. I'll send everybody over to FFS on YouTube, and then on Rumble over to Off Label Podcast. So I want to thank everybody who was here. Please remember to like, subscribe, tell your friends. Come back tomorrow for Jim to tell you the news.